Okay, so word is that there's some confusion about the Six Things project. So I wanted to walk you through every single step of it. Feel free to pause, rewind, fast forward as you need to. Okay, so I'm starting on the weekly agenda on PowerSchool. I'm on this week's, but you can scroll back through the slides by clicking through the slides. This slideshow has literally the whole entire school year on it, so you can go all the way back. Looks like we're in week 21. All right. So the first text that we started with, you can find on slide 3. It was how to find evidence. It was from the week of January 11 through 15. If you click on that link, it will make you make a copy of the Analyzing a Text. This was the very first thing we did. So this was a general question about your topic. So if you were doing, let's say, water research, then you would ask a question about water, like what causes water scarcity, and then you would find an article and complete the text analysis on it. The point of doing textual analysis is getting you to a place where you're really thinking deeply about the text and you're really exploring what it means and finding a really great piece of evidence from the text to use to support whatever you're trying to either explain in an informational piece or argue if it's an argumentative piece. So the first one was simply about something that was very, very general about your topic. So if you were doing, say, mental health, then you might have explored what a certain form of mental health care is, or you might have explored a certain, condition like bipolar or schizophrenia. It is completely up to you what you decide to explore. It just needs to be tied to your original topic. And those are from the social justice books. That's where you chose your initial topic. So you start with completing the T-chart, and then this table on step 3 is to get you to a point where you're doing some good analysis. The first thing you do is you explain what the text says and what is it actually telling you. That's the important thing. And you have to really understand what the text means in order to do that. But because you're narrowing your text down in just a tiny little bit, and just looking for a sentence or two as your evidence, you really need to just get down deep into that part of the text. Don't try to analyze the whole entire article. That's too much text. And then the second step is to explain what that means. So here's what the author is telling me, but here's what I think that means. And then the important part is why it matters. And this is where you get to real deep analysis. If you start to think about why that text is important and what the significance is to me or to other people in the world, then you start to get to a deeper level of analysis. And this is the hard part. Then the last step in the textual analysis is to prep you for the writing part. And I set it up so that you're writing a main point and a support and a support. That's a good part of a paragraph. So if you start with your main point and you use what you put here as your inference or conclusion, that should be probably your main point. And then your first support is going to be your evidence, your textual evidence. This is where you integrate it into a sentence like we did today in class. And then the analysis part is where you explain what it means. That's the means and the matters part. Why is it important to people? So if you have this set of boxes on step 4 done, then you are ready to complete your slide. Now, what I'm hearing is that there's a little bit of a disconnect between the textual analysis and then the slide itself. So what I did was I gave you on this original Analyzing a Text doc, I gave you 2 times that I did the process. And all of this writing, and I know it's a lot, is basically me thinking out loud on a piece of paper. So I typed up what I was doing to get to the textual analysis so that you could track it. It's just to help you understand what to do because you can go back and read what I did, and then that can lead you into how you are to do the same thing. And I did it with 2 different articles, and that's weird that it's not showing up. I'll have to explore that. Okay. So, I gave you my examples here, I guess. Oh yeah, there it is. I gave you my examples on this link. Okay. So how does this tie into your slides? The first slide we did was the general thing that you've learned about. So it's the first thing, it's your research about the topic. That was supposed to be your very first slide, was just that one textual analysis sheet. And I gave you an example, which you can access. They're linked on PowerSchool. I gave you an example of what my first slide looked like. And if you read this paragraph that I typed, you can see this paragraph on this analyzing a text right here. If you read what I typed here, this is on page 2 and 3. If you read this, you will see my paragraph. It is almost exactly what I typed. I did integrate the quote, which I didn't do on this doc, whereas here I did. I added some hyperlinks, but otherwise it's pretty much exactly the same. So if you're analyzing a text doc is done, then you now have your work done for your slide. Okay, so that was just for the first one. Then I gave you guys another copy of Analyzing a Text, but it's different. It's slides 2 through 6. This is where I'm seeing another disconnect. People don't understand that there's 2 of these. So this doc is for slides 2 through 6, and I wanted you to put it in your ELA folder. The way you can find it in your ELA folder is to open your drive, and I'm just going to do this so you can see how it happens. Open your drive. When you're in your drive, if you search, oops, you got to spell it right, analyzing, I'm not even going to type the whole thing. It will pop up. Oh, I can see other people's because you've shared it back to me because you handed it in. It will show you your documents and then you can open it, okay? That's the easiest way to find it. But what I wanted you to do at the beginning of the school year was give yourself an ELA folder, and the computer created one for you. So you should have a folder that's called ELA, and that is where you should put these docs. The easiest way to do that is go into your doc, and there's a little move button right up here. If you click move, then you can scroll through here and find your ELA folder, and then all you do is click move. I'm not going to move mine because this is actually a fake doc that I just created for this screencast. I have my own and they're already in my own folder. So if I go to move mine, I'm going to see where I have them filed. They're in my social justice unit folder in my ELA folder. So organizing your drive is huge. It makes your life a lot easier. I don't want to move mine. And the same thing with your 6 things. That should also be in your folder. You'll see where mine is. Look, it's in the same folder. This is how I can find things. It's important. Okay, so for the next slide that I had you do, this was, when did we do this one? Let me go back. So we started this one on Friday or Thursday, depending on whether you're in 7A or 7B. I'm on the 7A page. So they have English on Friday, 7B has English on Thursday. So either Thursday or Friday, we started the slideshow, and then we also started working on a current event. And so for that one, you were supposed to use this new doc, slides 2 through 6. And this first one is for this, a current event about your topic. So then you were to find another text, to put the title here, do the same T-chart, do the same means and matters table, do the same transferring your knowledge into your write about table. If this was done, then you were ready. Let me go to my actual one. Then you were ready to do your slide. So this was my work that I did, and then I was ready to go on and do slide 2. I copied and pasted from slide 1 so that I didn't have to recreate my number and my headline and my text box. So I went, if you use your mouse and you loop those 3 things and then use Control C, and then go to your blank slide and do Control V, it will copy those back over for you. And then all I did was I changed these. I'm now going to move on to slide 3. I'm going to change this, but I don't know what I'm going to say yet because I don't have slide 3 done yet. So I'm just going to delete part of that. I'll fix it later. Delete part of that because I don't really want to use that text. So copying and pasting is an easy way to make this happen. So for your analyzing a text slides 2 through 6, your second one, the one that we did the analysis on Thursday or Friday, and then this week, Monday and Tuesday, we turned that into the slide. Now today's task was to find a historical event. So if I go back to my analyzing a text, the same one, okay, the same one, I'll go to mine, that I did my current event. Next, and I have to do my work because I haven't done it yet, is to do a historical event about your topic. So then you use this one and you do a historical event. Same thing. You find a text, you put the title, you complete the T-chart. I'll do mine. I haven't done it yet. I'll do it when I finish the screencast. Now, once this is done, then the next class, which will be Thursday or Friday, when you see me, then I will have my slide 3 done, and you'll see my model, but I'll also have my analysis done so you can see my model. So if your analysis is done, then you're ready to do your slide, okay? Now, on the Analyzing a Text doc, I want to keep going through it because it is set up for all of the rest of your slides. So we already did, or you should have already done, a current event. You should have done today or yesterday in class, Monday or Tuesday in class, a historical event. The next step, the one that we're going to do on Thursday or Friday for the last half of class, will be using one of your social justice books. So you're going to choose one of your 2 books, whichever one you've read the most out of. If you've read them both already, which I know some of you have probably read both books already because you're fast, then you need to pick the one that covers your topic the best or that you feel the most passionate about. And you're going to put the title of the text, which is the book in this case, and then you're going to do a say, don't say chart based on your book. You're going to do a means and matters, and you're going to do the same exact chart. The only difference is in this case you can use signposts, which you should have been tracking and writing on your papers that came in your book. So this one should be pretty easy. The only issue will be finding the page number if you didn't write it down on your signpost, which I think I put on the signpost for you to do. Then slide 5 is going to be something interesting that you've discovered about your topic along the way. I'm sure along the way with all the things you've read, you found something that you were like, ooh, that's really interesting. I want to know more about that. That's your slide number 5. Same charts. And then your slide number 6 is going to be where you get to express your personal opinion, feelings, and thoughts about the topic. So this is different. I didn't change the charts on the analysis because you're still going to be making an inference or conclusion. You're still going to be explaining what you mean. You're still going to be explaining your interpretation. You're still going to be doing all these things. It's just that it's going to be based on your opinion this time instead of on a factual article. So all of those will transfer over to the slides, and they're all listed at the bottom. And then one day during this process, I will show you how to do your works cited page. And then you have a directions slide that you can delete when you're done. I didn't. I deleted my directions slide already because I know what I'm doing. So I hope that helps. Get these files organized, name them properly, put your name on them. But as long as you keep it analyzing a text, you should be able to find that. As long as you keep it 6 things, you should be able to find that. You're not going to have anything else in your drive called 6 things, I don't think. So search your drive for it. Type in 6 things, see what happens. I shouldn't have a bunch pop up because, somebody has already shared. I haven't asked for those yet. I wonder why they're shared with me. I guess I'll have to explore that as well. All right. So put those in your ELA folder. That's the key. Then you can find things. But the search window works really well on Google. If you're trying to find things and you can't find what you're looking for, here's a trick. you can click Advanced and you can put down Owned by Me. And then it'll only show you the ones that are owned by you. So now it's only going to show 6 things that I own. And it's naming files where I've also typed 6 things, like in my planning and in my weekly agendas. The search works really, really well. March Madness. Ooh, that'll be fun. All right. I hope that helps. I know it's long. Rewind if you need to. If you still have questions, please send me an email.